Now, breaking news from WRAL. Coverage you can count on.
Breaking news, 3 people shot in Durham after midnight. What we know as police cleared that scene on Guest Road just 2 hours ago.
Plus, new details about the investigation into the New Orleans attack. What we are learning about the suspect's ties to here, North Carolina, and the connection he may have to the man linked to the Las Vegas Cybertruck explosion.
And waking up this morning, we are much colder than this time yesterday. Get ready for some Arctic chill, 10 to 20 degrees colder, but could we get even farther down on our temperatures into the weekend? We'll time it out coming up.
A speeding car crashes near a Wake County home. The homeowner's description of what happened as a search is on for the driver. Good morning, everyone. It is 6 o'clock here on January 2nd as we track all those big breaking stories for you. I'm Renee Chu.
And I'm Chris Lovingood in for Jeff Hogan. I woke up this morning and I don't know why I do this to myself. I'm always surprised when I walk out and I'm like, man, it's cold. Like, our meteorologist didn't tell us this was all happening.
No need to be surprised.
For the week.
We've had advance warning about the cold.
We told you yesterday.
It's the temperature difference, though. That's what's got me shaking this morning, Anthony.
It really is. Yeah, I have a little, home thermometer that I look at every time I go out, but that's just the meteorologist in me. Yes, it's chilly. We see temperatures right now about 10 to 20 degrees colder than this time yesterday. You walk outside, it is a good morning to have something warm as far as maybe a hot beverage, hot cup of coffee, or the gloves, the hat, things like that. I was very glad to have them here as I was driving in, hands a little bit chilly. We're sitting at 34 though in Raleigh, 30 in Roxborough. Not a huge wind chill, but it feels just a degree or two cooler than that. And as we go through today, here's what you should plan on. That kind of lighter blue is the wind chill value, the actual high temperature there on the left. It will feel like 40 degrees at noon. That is it. That's all we're going for. 44 by the time we get to 2 o'clock. So it's going to be definitely chilly, below normal for where we should be. We're looking ahead to the weekend, though. Most of us talking some rain on Monday, late Sunday night into Monday. But you see a little bit of that freezing rain up to the north. We're going to walk through the latest models on this system and time this out here coming up, Ken, in just a few minutes.
All right, Anthony, it's 6:01, a rather quiet start to your morning commute. Nothing but green showing up on the map, which is really good news this morning. Let's head outside, give you a live look at one of these major roadways. This is I-40 and Wade Avenue. Traffic flowing nicely in both directions, but picking up, as you can see. But that's something that you don't have to worry about. If you're getting ready to head out this morning, tune us in on the radio, 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Ken, thanks. We'll give you a live look now at Bourbon Street in New Orleans, where you see investigators there blocking off the roads this morning more than 24 hours after a man plowed a pickup truck through crowds of people celebrating the new year. Now, new this morning, the FBI released this updated photo of the suspect, 42-year-old Shamsuddin Jabbar. Authorities say he killed at least 15 people and injured dozens more in the attack. He was killed in a shootout with police. Law enforcement has identified some of the victims, and we'll have more on that in just a few moments. Investigators are also trying to find links between the New Orleans attack and the explosion of a Cybertruck outside a Trump hotel in Las Vegas. New this morning, sources tell NBC News the Las Vegas driver was Matthew Livelsberger. He had military experience, and authorities are looking into whether there is any connection to the military experience of the New Orleans suspect. The man suspected in that New Orleans attack was stationed for a time at Fort Liberty. WRAL's Kelsey Coffey joins us live from Fort Liberty. And Kelsey, investigators are looking into his military history.
Yes, Renee, this morning we're learning new information about Shamsuddin Jabbar and his potential ties here to Fort Liberty. We spoke with an expert who says that his military history could play a role in this investigation. Divorce filings show Jabbar lived in this Fayetteville home at one point. An Army spokesperson says Jabbar lived there, or rather Jabbar served between 2007 and 2015. We found this photo from 2013 on the 82nd Airborne Division's Facebook. It shows a soldier identified as Jabbar working in IT. Divorce filings in Texas list his employer as Fort Bragg, now called Fort Liberty.
Most of these cases, there are red flags. I mean, even in the non-terrorist mass shooters, if you will, you see the reason, their motives, they kind of come out with it. They start displaying disturbing behavior and making threats and postings.
President Biden's news conference yesterday indicates red flags were there. He says the FBI reported Jabbar posted videos suggesting he was inspired by ISIS and expressed a desire to kill just hours before the attack. We're working to confirm whether he was a part of the 82nd Airborne Division, so we'll be sure to keep you posted as we hear back from officials. Kelsey Coffey, WRAL News, live in Fayetteville.
And we are seeing new photos of some of the victims of the attack in New Orleans. Let's show you this one right here. 27-year-old Tiger Besh. He was a former Princeton football player. According to his sister, Besh was walking back to his hotel when the truck plowed through crowds on Bourbon Street. Besh lived in New York, where he worked as a junior trader for a capital markets firm. He was originally from Louisiana, and his sister says he was visiting for the holidays. Investigators also identified this person, 37-year-old Reggie Hunter, as one of the victims. He was visiting from Baton Rouge. That's where he was a manager for a warehouse company. He leaves behind 2 children, ages 11 and 1.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, Chris, we're learning even more victims this morning. I want to show you this picture here. This is 21-year-old Hubert Gothrow. He attended Archbishop Shaw High School. The school posted this to their Facebook page, asking the Archbishop Shaw family to pray. Also, we are seeing this person here as well. This is a student from University of Alabama, Kareem Badawi. He was killed in a terrorist attack as well. The university's president posted this on the Facebook page, saying, "I grieve alongside family and friends of Kareem and their heartbreaking loss. Badawi's high school will hold an evening prayer session tonight for him, as well as Parker Vidrine, another former student who was injured in that attack."
Investigators on the other side of the country are working to figure out if the attack in New Orleans is connected to the Cybertruck explosion in front of the Trump Hotel. Now, the explosion in Vegas killed the driver of the truck, who police have identified as 37-year-old Matthew Livelsberger. Several people who are standing nearby were hurt. Authorities say the back of the truck was loaded with gas canisters and large fireworks mortars. The truck was rented from a company called Turo. That's the same rental company the driver in the New Orleans attack used to get his truck. Turo says it is cooperating with the investigation.
College football's Sugar Bowl game will be played in New Orleans this afternoon. It was supposed to be played yesterday, but it was postponed because of the attack. The game's organizers say the postponement was necessary to allow for additional security. Notre Dame and Georgia will play in this game, and coaches for both teams say their players and staff are safe. Kickoff is at 4 o'clock this afternoon. And coming up in less than 10 minutes, we are going to hear from a Raleigh resident visiting New Orleans who was just a block away when the attack happened.
And WRAL will stay on top of all the new developments into the attack investigation throughout the day. Look for any updates on WRAL News from 4 to 7:30 this evening.
The story that broke overnight, we continue to follow. Police in Durham say at least 3 people were shot this morning. Officers cleared the scene there on Guest Road at about 4 o'clock. But Nick Perlin was in the WRAL Breaking News Tracker when police were there. He's now at the Durham Police Department. Nick, all the victims arrived at the hospital on their own.
That's right, Chris. But the thing that's still questionable at this point is what led to this shooting and what were the circumstances that caused these 3 people to be shot. Now, I do want to get you to this video. This is from the WRAL Breaking News Tracker at around 3:30 this morning. You can see a large crime scene here taped off right off of Guest Road and evidence markers here throughout that parking lot. We know at some point around midnight, gunfire erupted and 3 people were shot. They were taken to the hospital. They are expected to recover at this point in time. But again, we're still working with the Durham Police Department to find out what led to this shooting and who fired those gunshots. Of course, as we learn new developments, we'll be sure to update you throughout the morning. Live in Durham, Nick Perlin, WRAL News.
In Wake County, the search is on this morning for the driver who crashed his car right up against a home while racing. The crash happened on Caddy Road just before 9:30 last night. Highway Patrol says 2 cars were racing, 1 driver lost control, and that car went about 200 feet off the road before hitting an AC unit outside that house. The homeowner was inside watching television when it all happened.
Next thing I know, I heard the limbs and stuff start breaking, and next thing I know, he done hit my house. And the dude jumped out and ran.
No one was hurt in the crash. Troopers were able to find the driver of the other car, who was cited and released.
Governor Josh Stein will announce his first executive orders today, one day after being sworn in.
To the best of your knowledge and ability, so help you God.
I do.
Congratulations, Mr. Governor.
Stein was sworn in as North Carolina's 76th governor at the state capitol building yesterday morning. Today, he will be in Asheville to announce orders supporting Hurricane Helene recovery efforts. His official inauguration events are scheduled for January 11th and the 12th.
Your power bill could be a little lower this year. Duke Energy Carolina's customers in Durham and Chapel Hill will have their rates dropped to 3.6%. Similar drops already took effect in Raleigh last month.
Today, the nation's debt ceiling is back in place at more than $36 trillion. The cap is reinstated today after it was suspended in 2023. That was part of the bipartisan Fiscal Responsibility Act. Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen says the country is expected to hit the limit sometime between January 14th and 23rd. When that happens, the Treasury will need to take what it calls extraordinary measures to prevent a default.
It is 6:10. New information about a deadly accident. What investigators say started a fireworks explosion in Hawaii.
Plus, Duke versus Ole Miss in the Gator Bowl tonight. Why the Blue Devils head coach says this big-time matchup will help set the stage for next season.
And this morning we have some chilly air in place across the entire region. At this point, we're close to the freezing mark in Raleigh. But will we have any moisture to go along with that cold air to give us wintry weather? We're going to go over that coming up.
As you get into your car, tune to WRAL News Plus on your radio. In Raleigh on 99.3 FM. In Durham, 96.5 FM. And everywhere on 101.5 HD3.
Here on our Thursday, we're watching a couple big games here for us as we head through the rest of today. Of course, we have the Gator Bowl. Duke is taking on Ole Miss down in Jacksonville, Florida. Our temperatures for this game, this is the forecast for Jacksonville specifically. They are looking a little bit chilly, though. 49 there at 8 o'clock. Once the game starts, we're at 46 by the time we get to 10. They should have zero issues, though, as far as any rain coming down for that game. So that's good. We also have the Sugar Bowl that was rescheduled from yesterday. This is in New Orleans. That game is scheduled to kick off there at 4 o'clock this afternoon. Looking really nice, though. It is in the Superdome down there, but 61 degrees at 1 o'clock, 62 at 4. Lots of sunshine. We're looking at a quiet forecast here across our entire region until we get into Sunday night and Monday. We could have a chance for some very chilly rain heading into early next week. Ken?
All right, Anthony, weather and traffic every 10 minutes. A rather quiet start to your morning commute in Wake County. The Beltline, nothing but green showing up on the map. Similarly, in Durham, Hillsborough, Chapel Hill, all the major routes are delay-free this morning. Let's stay in the Bull City, shall we? Give you a live look at I-885 and TW Alexander Drive. Traffic hasn't picked up just yet, but give it time. But you can see traffic is flowing nicely in both directions. We'll have another update in about a few minutes.
All right, thank you, Ken. Raleigh, people from Raleigh who travel to New Orleans for New Year's are left shaken after the attack there. David Sebeck and Noah Preston were there to ring in the new year and go to the Sugar Bowl game. The attack happened just a block from their hotel. They say they heard the sirens and saw police cars responding, but they didn't even realize the severity of what happened until they woke up in the morning.
We came down here just to enjoy New Year's Eve, jump into 2025, have a great time, but all this is happening now, and the commotion, it's been really hectic down here.
Sebeck and Preston plan to attend the Sugar Bowl game that was postponed until today. They say they have a heightened sense of awareness in the aftermath of the attack.
And happening right now in the WRAL Live Center, at least 10 people were hurt after a shooting at a nightclub in Queens, New York. This happened at the Amazura nightclub there. This is a live look at the scene. You can see police tape up. This is what we know. 15 people were standing outside when 4 men on foot approached the group of 16 to 20-year-olds who were waiting to get into that nightclub. 3 to 4 men opened fire on that group. About 30 shots were fired before the gunmen ran from the scene. They are on the run this morning. 6 women and 4 men were taken to area hospitals with non-life-threatening injuries. All are expected to survive. A motive is unclear right now, but police say this is not terrorism.
Police revealed more information on a deadly fireworks explosion in Hawaii. Investigators say it appears someone at the home in Honolulu lit several fireworks in the driveway. Some of those fell into crates with other fireworks inside, setting off the explosion. Police say 3 women died. More than 20 people were injured. Authorities say many of the injuries are very serious.
Police arrested a woman they say was driving the wrong way on I-540. This happened just after 5 o'clock yesterday morning between Capitol Boulevard and Lewisburg Road. Investigators say as a result of driving the wrong way, 20-year-old Aleida Soriano Coto crashed her vehicle. No one was seriously injured in this, but Soriano Coto is charged with driving under the influence of alcohol, reckless driving, and driving the wrong way on a highway.
Today, Luke Farley will be sworn in as labor commissioner. He won the seat in November. Farley is a workplace safety attorney who has never held elected office. He says he plans to follow in the footsteps of past Republican commissioners Cherie Berry and Josh Dobson when it comes to regulating worker safety. North Carolina's new superintendent of public instruction was sworn in yesterday. Mo Green is North Carolina's first black state superintendent. This is the beginning of his tenure as the state's top educator.
The Duke Blue Devils will play in the Gator Bowl tonight in Jacksonville, Florida. They have a tough challenge, though, against the 16th-ranked Ole Miss Rebels. Head coach Manny Diaz spoke at the pregame news conference yesterday, and he said being on the national stage against a top opponent is exactly what the Duke football program needs.
You know, I'm sure, like everybody, our goal is to be in the college football playoff. We saw how close we were against one of our opponents that made the playoff, and so we're telling our guys if that's our where we're headed for next year. If you show up, guess who you're going to find? You're going to find a team just like the one we're going to play.
Kickoff will now be at 8 o'clock tonight. The time was adjusted because the Sugar Bowl is now at 4 p.m. and both games are on ESPN, but it's a 30-minute difference. Keep that in mind. It was initially scheduled for 7:30 p.m. Time is 6:18 right now. We do want to get you started on your weather forecast because you, unlike me, should walk outside and be prepared for the cold weather you have out there. Maybe wear a nice coat. And colder days are ahead, Anthony.
Yeah, it's always our goal. Get people prepared here. And that's what we're expecting this morning is definitely some chilly weather. But where we head into the weekend, that's going to be even colder, actually, compared to what we're seeing this afternoon or going to see this afternoon. We're looking at a normal high temperature for this time of the year of 52, which usually occurs 4 or 5 o'clock or so this time of the year. We're going to be at 48 today. Then we go to 51 into tomorrow. The weekend, though, we definitely have that chill just kind of locked into place for us both Saturday and Sunday. We're looking at a high, though, again, about 48 for us today. It comes with sunshine, but we cool off really quickly once we lose that sun this evening, dropping back into the 30s. Here is the weekend, though. 41 tomorrow, or 41, I should say, on Saturday. I'm thinking it's almost the weekend already. We're getting there. 46 as we head into Sunday. Just a few clouds for us all in all. Looking dry both days, but then Sunday night into Monday, there's going to be a new storm system that we're watching. Let's walk through this together because there have been some kind of conflicting solutions on the models that we look at as far as where this is going to set up. Sunday morning at 8 a.m., I do think this particular model is doing a pretty good job of showing where this system is going to be. We go into Sunday afternoon, despite what Futurecast is showing with some rain at that point, I still think we're dry until late Sunday night into early Monday morning. There is 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm going to pause this right there. You notice the snow up to our north, our far north there. The rain for the majority of us. There's a thin strip of that pink that's starting to show up. That would be a wintry mix potential, maybe some freezing rain. That line, though, as opposed to yesterday, has gotten even pushed a little bit farther to the north. Yesterday, it was looking like our far northern counties, South Hill, for instance, may see some of that. At this point, it looks like more of Virginia, and then we're looking at just a chilly rain on Monday. If that shifts at all, though, that will change our impact, so that's something we're going to continue to watch closely. 48 today, though, 51 tomorrow. We go to 41 on Saturday, looking very chilly here through that extended forecast. And Ken, I know this is something we've not been used to so far this winter. We've had 60s, 70s, but
Exactly.
This is going to be a bit of a culture, or a shock, I should say, to our system.
Boy, we'll be with a tailspin. Yeah. All right, Anthony, thanks. Listen, quiet start to your morning commute this morning. For those of you getting ready to head out this morning and your commute takes you to the capital city, we're not seeing any delays whatsoever on those major routes into the capital city. Similarly, in Durham, very little to no delays whatsoever. You're getting ready to head out this morning. Tune us in on the radio. You can tune us in on 101.5 HD3. You can listen to us anywhere in the Triangle.
Police in South Korea are searching for answers about the plane crash that killed 179 people. New video of the raid they conducted at the airport and Jeju Airlines.
Plus, state income taxes are going down. How much it will save you and the impact on North Carolina's budget.
Here's a look at your winning North Carolina education lottery numbers.
This What's Trending report, sponsored by Rug & Home.
Meghan Markle's first social media post in nearly 5 years is getting a lot of attention.
Ken Smith is here now with What's Trending.
Yeah, the Duchess of Sussex made the post on a new Instagram account at Meghan. It's a video of her on the beach enjoying 2025 in the sand. The account already has more than 700,000 followers.
Yeah, Meghan rejoining Instagram, not following anybody. And on this particular account, you cannot comment. But her first post in nearly 5 years.
Excellent. Well, another social media post getting a lot of attention. Netflix dropping a teaser for the third season of Squid Game. It features a creepy new character named Chul Soo. No word yet on the release date for the third season.
And I have not had a chance to finish season 2, but I really liked the first one. The person who's behind this, I mean, he has worked very hard to put this together. But I was telling Renee earlier, I'm very glad they're not just going to milk this into 10 seasons. I think 3 is a very reasonable number to tell a story like that.
It's on my list of things to watch.
I know, I still haven't watched the first season. Every time we do a story about Squid Game, I'm like, there's.
So I'll get to it eventually.
Get to it.
Well, state fair officials announced the dates for this year's fair. That will run from October 16th through the 26th. Last fall's state fair drew nearly 1 million visitors. As for this year's theme, that hasn't been announced just yet.
Today, applications for the Wake Forest Police Junior Cadet Program open. The program is intended to help young people prepare for careers in public safety. A junior cadet should be 14 to 20 years old and be interested in law enforcement. The application will stay open until all spots in the program are filled.
We are chilly, of course, out there this morning, but looking ahead to our weekend, even colder on Saturday at 41. Late Sunday night, potentially a system getting close to us that could bring some impacts. We're going to time all of that out coming up.
And this morning, we are learning more about some of the victims of the attack in New Orleans, their stories as the investigation into the suspected act of terror grows wider.
And tragedy hits home for a local school, how a young teacher is being remembered after her death on December 25th.